Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Susan Abelo Okaye from Love Binti International, and I feel so privileged to be making a presentation on this platform today. Kindly allow me to share my screen. Once again, is Susan Abelo Okaye. I am the project manager for Love Binti International in Uganda. Since Love Binti's inception in 2018. I have an over 10 years experience working with women and girls in Uganda, especially in the slum areas. I have advocated for proper menstrual health and hygiene. I have worked with young girls, ensuring that they get the education that they deserve, because it's a right for each and every girl to attain education, just like our male counterparts. And I have also ensured that the older women or the adult women acquire skills that will help them to lead a much more sustainable life. I was born in the slums of Chivuli, the outskirts of Kampala. And I must say, it was really challenging growing up. I saw so many of my colleagues and age mates at that time drop out of school. I saw so many girls get pregnant at a very early stage in life. I saw so many dreams being shattered very early in life. And I was one of the very lucky few girls to make it to higher institutions of living, of study. Some students or some girls completed primary school and joined secondary school, but they were not able to complete secondary school. Some of them were affected by the adverse poverty in the homes. Some of them were affected by different issues. Others got pregnant early in life. Others got into drug addiction. And some of them got into sex trade. The slum community where I was born and raised was a place where you cannot feel secure. Even today, at my age, I still do not feel very secure moving around those streets by myself because of the so many social injustices that affect women and girls in the area. Having grown up in such an environment, I have seen how women in slums suffer the burdens of single-handedly raising children and feeding for them. I have seen the cries of the women, and I vowed to make a difference in the lives of women, to ensure that they lead a more sustainable life, to ensure that they live a more dignified life. And that's when I chose to rise. I chose to rise as a slum girl. I choose to rise as a woman from the slums. I choose to rise as someone who has seen firsthand all the effects of poverty and social injustices on women in the slums. And that is where our journey of training centers starts from. In 2018, after Love Binti was launched, we started a campaign to empower women. And we started by setting up training centers, knowing that we are creating a space where women will come and get empowered, women will come and get inspired, women will come and find hope, women will come and find healing. We started our training centers in 2019. And since then, we have empowered over 640 women and girls. We have 4 training centers, one at Makerere University, where we have so far trained 200 girls and women. And you may ask yourself, why the university? For us at Love Binti, we believe that we use the university as a place to bridge the gap between the community and the university. For every woman who has gone through our training center at Makerere University, there is more pride in them. There is more hope in them. There is a lot of gratitude in them, and they feel they too are humans and they have achieved it in life. We have the Harvest Training Center. The Harvest Training Center is located in the heart of Kabalagala, a place very well known for sex trade and child labor. And for us at Love Binti, we believe that this is a rehabilitating ground where girls and women who have gone through different kinds of trauma in life are being rehabilitated. Their lives are being restored, and they are being empowered to become better people. We had a training center at Marina in Lira. This too was a rehabilitating ground for us. A rehabilitating ground for IDPs. IDPs means internally displaced people. As most of the world is aware, Uganda has suffered insurgency in the northern parts for over very many years. And since then, so many women and girls were deprived of social services. They were deprived of education. They were deprived of so many things. And as Love Binti, us coming to Marina, particularly in Lira, meant that we are enabling, we are empowering the girl child. We are empowering these young mothers, these outcast women to become better in life. And we have our most recent training center called the Kikaya Training Center. This training center was birthed amidst COVID. And because in Uganda, so many girls were affected by COVID in a way that they ended up getting pregnant since they were out of school, and the situation was kind of tense for them, and some men and boys took advantage of them. We believed that creating a training center for these adolescent girls would keep them more engaged and enable them have a better positive mindset and impact in life. In the Kikaya Training Center so far, it is the youngest. We have trained 80 adolescent girls. And that is our story. That is our journey. This is how we have been empowering the girls. So practically, the Love Binti Training Centers enrolls women for a period of 3 months. And during this 3 months period, we train the women on hygiene, health, and menstrual health and care. We do train them on business issues. We empower them to be able to manage businesses, small-scale businesses, and we teach them tailoring. In one of the pictures you will see over there, you'll see a woman well-dressed in her graduation gown. This is how we empower them. You know, the graduation attire has power in it. For every woman who puts on a graduation attire, especially for us here in Africa, they feel power, they feel hope. There is a lot of ignition. There is a lot of stuff that cannot be mentioned. There is a lot of power in the graduation gown. So after the 3 months of training, we will have these women put on their graduation gown. And those are the kinds of smiles that you will see. The women and the girls feel empowered, they feel better. And at the end of it all, a woman who possibly never attended school will be able to sit or manage her small-scale business in a much better way because they have been transformed. Their mindset is changed. They know how to count. They know how to balance their books of accounts. They know how to run the business. They know how to communicate. They know how to sew. And for us, this is where we see power. Because of our training centers, today we can boast of over 640 women and girls who have been trained, who have been transformed, who have been given power to manage, power to rule, power to reign in their businesses, in their homes, and in their house facilities. I'd like to share some examples of people that we have had, of testimonies that we have had. 28-year-old Daphne came to our training center in 2019. She came eager to learn how to sew. A single mother who needed a skill that would enable her sustain her life and the life of her child. When Daphne joined the Love Binti Training Center, Daphne knew she's coming to learn how to sew, but she was awestruck when she realized that there is much more than sewing. There is much more than managing a sewing machine. She learned how to make reusable pads, and this was the epitome of Daphne's bliss. When Daphne learned how to know the reusable pads, she was reminded of her past life, of how she was affected and abused due to menstruation. At a certain point in time in her life, Daphne did not have proper menstrual protection, and her heart yearned for the young girls who do not have proper menstrual protection. That is when Daphne started a movement of training girls at her own cost to train them how to make reusable sanitary pads. Today, Daphne has trained over 1,000 girls in her community. And we as Love Binti are so proud of Daphne. She is now our seed teacher, going out watering seeds, planting seeds and watering them so that we have more young people with visions to empower others, with visions to help improve the status of women in the community. Beatrice here, as you can see, was one of our students at Love Binti. She used to come to the training center with her baby. Beatrice was abandoned by her husband, left and rejected without any care or support for her, not even her children. When Beatrice joined the Love Binti Training Center, she was empowered. She learned how to sew. She learned how to protect her body. She learned how to have a voice for herself. She learned how to manage her household. She learned how to manage a business. Today, Beatrice works together with a group of other women. They make African crafts and they even export them out of the country. Beatrice's life has changed. It is not the same anymore. She is in a better state. She leads a much more sustainable life, able to take care of herself, able to take care of her children, running her household properly, and managing her life effectively. Those are the testimonies that we have. Next is Victoria. Victoria, just like Daphne, joined us in 2019, a very timid, shy girl. No one would take her seriously in life. But after she joined us, oh my goodness, her life has changed. She's been able to learn how to save, and slowly through her little meager savings, Victoria has been able to start up her own workshop. You can see her standing right in front of her workshop. She's been able to run her life better. She's been able to counsel other young girls in the same situation that she was in before. Victoria leads a more sustainable life today. She has money. All of us know money is power. She has the voice. All of us know that she who has a voice has control over herself, has control over her body, and has control over the things that pertaining her life. This is Victoria. These three are a few of the testimonies that we have had at Love Binti. We have hundreds and hundreds of testimonies of people who have been impacted positively through sewing, positively through the training centers that we have. We do not only do sewing, but we also go to communities, as you will see in the pictures, and do menstrual health and hygiene workshops. We train young girls how to make the reusable pads. We're out in Karamoja, up north, down south, all over the country. We've even got the privilege of training inmates. In yellow clothes are inmates. We've got an opportunity to train them because when they are in prison, periods have no barriers. A menstrual period does not know when to stop. Whether you are in prison, whether you are at school, wherever you are at that time of the month, and flow will surely come. So for us, it is an opportunity to train all these people, to go all over the country and train and empower these young people with all these simple skills of using a t-shirt, of using a cotton cloth, and make yourself a menstrual pad. We've gone to communities where people do not have access to anything at all, and they use sand. And for us, it is a privilege to go to these communities and empower them. Now, I want to share my purpose and motivation in life. I desire to work together with all other women and with all other partners worldwide to raise and improve the standard of women and girls in the slums. As I told you when I was starting, I am a slum girl. I know what slum girls go through. I have the story to tell. And together, when we work together, we can hold a slum girl's hand and make them better. Let's recreate another Susan. Let's recreate another girl. Let's empower another girl and improve their standard of living. I desire to create a cadre of resilient and confident women and girls in the slums, rising above the social myths and stereotypes labeled upon them in the communities. In the slums, when someone is from the slums, it is a mockery. When you say, I am from Chibuli, everyone is wondering, oh, either you're a harlot, you're a prostitute, you're a drug addict or something. So I desire to create a cadre of resilient and confident women from the slums and to develop a crew of financially independent women and girls that are making a difference and creating an impact through sewing. That is why we go ahead to train girls and women the skill of sewing. Now, our best practices. Working with slum people for the slum people is a very important practice. We cannot get someone from high class to work with the slum people. They will not understand them. They will not understand their status. They will not understand their language. So for us, this is a best practice. Identifying Susan, a slum girl, to work with the slum people is a best practice. Working with churches and local leaders is a best practice, and training these people using the local language. Mark you, most of these people do not really know how to read and write. We have empowered and trained people who do not know how to read and write. We have identified and recruited trainers who speak to them in the language most applicable to them. They bring down all these core training words and bring them down to the most simplest local language so that they can understand what they are being told. And of course, breaking down the communication barrier by speaking and talking to them in ways that they understand. Our future plan is to grow this empowerment project to be able to reach 1 million disadvantaged women and girls. There's a writer who once said that, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. That writer is called Mark Anthony. I call upon all of us to help this other woman discover that she is fierce. We need to help another woman discover that she is strong and she is full of fire. And when we do that, the women will arise. The women in the slums will arise. The women in Africa will arise. And the passion that burns within them will overcome all their fears. Thank you very much. God bless you.